Thank you so much. If you're just joining us, this is African Travel Information Platform interview series where we try to unveil the vision of tourism in Africa. We have several topics, we'll have several angles to cover. And we have several guests from different African countries featuring and telling us their own stories, their own destination stories by themselves, because we've sat back for a long time and haven't really had Africans, talking about Africans. Now we are talking about Africa by Africa. We're also trying to promote Africans to love Africa and visit Africa. Now, before I get to my next question to my panelists, I have a question on the chat session that says, the question basically is asking for the value of tourism in national development, given the insights three of you gave. What if you were to sum up, if you were to talk to government, if you were to talk to investors, if you were to talk to those who make decisions in any of the African countries who are not really, into promoting tourism the way it should be, what would you say is the value of tourism to national development? Bonnie, I'll start with you.
I think during these challenging times, it's the economic benefits for the locals is absolutely, absolutely important. The cost of living is rising so much all around the world. And by being involved in the value chain of tourism, this can bring sustainable livelihoods to local communities, where they promote their culture, their traditions, their cuisine. So that is the first most tangible benefit. Most of our local communities that come from rural outlying areas are living in real squalor and in poverty. And tourism is your lifeline for them to showcase what they have to the rest of the world and to be able to earn a decent lifestyle and living. For me, that's the most important thing. In South Africa, currently, we have at least 40% of the youth that are unemployed. That is absolutely frightening because young people have got the fire in their belly. They want to change the world. And we are trying to encourage young people to become skilled and involved in some form of the other of tourism, be it storytelling, be it music, be it rural events, so that at least it's an opportunity for them to network with people from other countries, but also providing them with an income. We have many challenges, but that is the most important thing.
Okay. Alisa?
Yes, hello. Yeah. Tourism has several benefits, It brings unity. For we who are working, it brings us money. We all know what happened during COVID. People died out of COVID because of boredom. When you come to, I talk about Ghana, our culture is unique. Our culture attracts more people into the country. Talk about our clothing, talk about music, talk about dance. And it brings people together. When people visit the country, especially our clothes, kente, very lovely, very colorful.
Exactly, yes.
So when people come without visiting the Ashanti region to get these our kente clothes, then the itinerary is not complete. So for me, tourism brings people together. So we have to work together to bring tourism to the highest level. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. What's the economic and developmental impact of tourism in Nigeria if we get it right?
Yes, thank you very much. I was actually going to focus it on Nigeria.
Yeah.
Number one, if I have the opportunity to sit down on the same table with decision makers in Nigeria, You should. We have a million reasons why we should embrace tourism as a country. Presently, Nigeria is a mono economy. What do I mean by mono economy? We have only one source of earning income as a nation, foreign income as a nation. Only one source right now, which is crude oil. And we all know that. We had a meeting with the Minister of Aviation, and he gave us analysis from almost 200 that our crude oil was selling, $200 per barrel. It came down to 28, 22. So, one, tourism is a foreign exchange earner that does not deplete, but only appreciates. Because we have proved now that crude can come down, especially when alternative to crude starts coming up. Countries started looking for more alternative. More countries started discovering crude by themselves. So they didn't need yours anymore. So the price dropped. But tourism is one product that always appreciates. It does not depreciate. So tourism is a major income earner for any nation that embraces it. And I'm going to present, I will not just talk as I'm talking now. If I sit on the table with the lawmakers, I will present data, verifiable data of other countries that tourism have taken them out of recession. That tourism is their major income earner.
So you can actually name one. Rwanda is
Mauritius.
one. Right?
Mauritius
Rwanda is also one.
It's a small airline.
Yeah.
Island.
Yeah.
That's their major source of income, and it never runs dry. Look at Rwanda. We all know about the history of Rwanda, the Tutsi and Hutu war, where it brought Rwanda to. What Rwanda is today is tourism that brought them to that place. And that's why Rwanda is one country that don't joke with it. They have opened up all their borders because they know what tourism has done. And the unity, the unity we now see in Rwanda, despite that genocide, it's because of tourism. Alisa said, is a unifying factor, something that brings us all together. And because tourism itself is life, as long as people are alive, you will need tourism. It cuts across every aspect of life. Secondly, I also show them why they need to embrace tourism. We also have a very high percentage of unemployment of young people. They spend so much money to go to school and there is no job anywhere. As we speak, I have like 10 on my neck just in 2 weeks looking for a job. And I'm like, where do I start from?
Wow.
Young people. So it's also to let the government of the day look, there's a way out of this your unemployment that we are facing in Nigeria. And we all know the idle mind is the devil's workshop. When these youths are idle, they become tools, negative tools in the hands of some thugs. I mean, during election, they become very easy political thugs to be used for harassment. But if they have what they are doing, there's no human being on earth that once he works and earns pay on what he does, that he's not proud of it. They cannot be easily used. So it's a major source of unemployment. 3, tourism is one industry that enriches everyone. There is no one singular person that sits down and said, I'm the only one that will be making money. Every other person is under me. Take, for example, the oil sector in Nigeria. We know the people that are making money from it. We all know. It's just a handful. And every other person lines up under them. But tourism is not like that. Tourism, everybody wins. Everybody. I mean, a well-respected man once said, in tourism, irrespective of what you did in school, even if you had a F9, you would do well. There's a place for you. I mean, even if you failed, you are not educated, there's a place for you and there is something for you that you can do and you'll be honorable about it. Another classical example that I will give to the lawmakers or decision makers in Nigeria. I mean, let's look at other countries that are big in terms of oil, like UAE, like Saudi Arabia and Qatar. You know, it's verifiable. UAE does not survive on their oil. The money made from their oil is in reserve. The money used in running the economy of United Arab Emirates is the revenue from tourism. And UAE is bigger when it comes to oil than Nigeria. But yet, they put tourism number one more than the oil. So the oil money for them is Jara extra. Like Yoruba would say, Jara is just extra. They're just keeping it. Yeah. And we were in South Africa last year, Bonnie. Tekiso gave us some statistics that even South Africa as a whole, their GDP in terms of their budget, 80% of it was supplied by tourism.
Yeah.
The total budget of the country was 80% of that budget was gotten from tourism. So this is how big tourism is, and that is what I'm going to let decision makers in Nigeria to know. Everyone wins in tourism. Everybody has a place. Everybody has something to do. At least, no matter how little it is what you are doing, and you can be proud of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Again, if you're joining us, this is African Travel Information Platform, where we talk about African destinations in the quest to unravel the vision, the regional vision of tourism in Africa, country by country. Today's topic is Intra Africa Tourism, the opportunities and the benefits. And my guests are Susan Akporaye, President of NANTA, Nigerian Association of Travel Agencies in Nigeria, National Association of Nigerian Travel Agencies. Alisa from Ghana, the President of Tour Operators Union of Ghana. Then Bunny from South Africa, the founder of Afriding Stores and a board member of the South African Tourism Association as well. So welcome. We will be going on to the next question. Actually, a participant has taken the question off of me, and it has to do with the value chain of tourism, because I feel that Susan had mentioned the issue about Nigeria depending totally on oil and not doing exactly what should be done to be able to build and develop tourism in Nigeria. Perhaps we could say that there is not a great understanding of the value chain of tourism. That may be the cause, I don't know. We'll get to find out. But I feel that talking about the value chain of tourism will probably bring it to the front burner so that we can see practical examples of the direct benefit of tourism in Africa, in each country in Africa. So I'm going to start with you, Alisa. What are the identifiable value chain in tourism that we can harness in Africa? Alisa?
Yes, thank you very much for your question. And in Africa, I'll use Ghana from where I'm coming from. You know, when we talk about tourism, we have different types of tourism. We have it's what we have, and our culture, of course. So we have all the various types of tourism out there. We have people who solely specialize in coming in for adventure. Some will also customize it for them. So in so doing, we have for groups, we have for FITs, that is individuals, and we have for family people. So of course, when they come, we will link it up, the country will earn foreign exchange earner. And we are even looking at to become #1. That's that now is #3 in Ghana. And we are working so hard to make it #1. And tourism is broad. Now we even have the events. Talk about Israel. People are coming in to come and have their events. Ghana in December, we have declared December in GH. We have Afrochella and Afro Nation, and it drives a lot of people into the country. And it brings people get businesses in terms of selling products and in terms of even paying. And the value chain, you know, when you talk about the tourism, when you use a tour operator who is organizing the tours, we use the tour operators. We can't do tourism without the hotels and the car rentals as well, and the sites. So it's a chain. Everybody benefits from the tourism. So tourism for me, it's broad. It has taken a different dimension, and it's interesting. When it comes to December in Ghana, a lot of activities are happening, and everybody is getting its part of the cake. I mean, everybody gets income from where he or she belongs, and that will also help his or her company to grow. So for tourism, we cannot run away. It's my passion. I love tourism, and we have to encourage it because it helps everybody who is in the tourism. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I let you go, there are two things you mentioned I wanted to pick up on. I know I've heard about this before, but I haven't really gotten the details. You mentioned Afrochella. I know about Coachella in, I think it's in America or so. So you talked about Afrochella. What is that? What is that? I know it's a kind of festival, but I'm not quite sure many people in Africa know about it. What is it?
Oh, yes. You see, my group, you know, I have one particular group because of Afrochella that they come to Ghana in December, and they are youth. They are youth people. The age is between, I think, 21 to 27.
Is it like a festival?
Yeah, but they have a place. You know, we do it at one of our stadium,
Okay.
one of our stadium in Accra, and they will converge and music. I mean, the artists. But I haven't been there, but I know the artists will come and play music, and they will make merry, and they have fun, and they will sit and eat and drink and listen to music and all that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that happens in December in Ghana.
Yes, it
so
happens.
Basically, that's a tour product, and of course.
Oh yes, and after that we have the pre-tour, and you know, Afrochella is 2 days, and we have the pre-tour before Afrochella and post-tours after Afrochella. So we merge them together, especially with the youth. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Bonnie. What are the identifiable value chain in tourism in South Africa?
I think I'd just like to say, and to start off with, someone asked a question about what is the value chain.
Yes.
I would just like to expand on that. Your value chain is your client, your visitor, your tourist gets off the aircraft. They have a porter that wheels their bags. They have a bus driver and a coach that will, or a car rental that will take them to their area. They have a hotel, they have accommodation, they have entertainment. So already in these 5 little nodules, look at the value that it's brought to so many people's lives.
And each of them will have its own, step down value chain as well.
Absolutely.
Just to support what you're saying. Yes.
Absolutely. And that is the value chain that no other industry can offer immediately to any country. It's only tourism that will be able to offer that revenue to so many people in such a short time. Within half a day, how many people have benefited totally from that value chain? Now that to me is the most important thing, because I think we're grappling so much with unemployment, with poverty, with economic turbulence. And here we have the low-hanging fruit. And that is our benefit. That is what we need to look at to be able to improve lives, to promote our local culture, our cuisines, and to develop the local people. And of course, it's storytelling. Storytelling is something
That's my
huge
thing. I
now.
love that bit of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We all grew up with our grandmothers sitting on their laps listening to stories. That's what tourism is about. People come here not to only experience the highlight or the cuisine or the wine or the Mandela footprints. They also want to listen to stories. Because stories are what they take back home to.
Yeah,
And
because Bunny, just I don't want to cut you short, but I want to emphasize on what you're saying with two examples. I've known the musician Yvonne Chaka Chaka,
yeah,
and there's a song she did in the, I don't know when, 90s, 80s, I don't remember. I think it's the title is Ugom Boti. And we're talking about storytelling, okay?
right.
So my visit to South Africa, we were shown how the ukomboti apparently is a drink.
Yeah.
Apparently is a drink, how
A
it
local
is
wine,
brewed.
like-
Yes, how it's brewed. And then we're taking through the story of, marriage of a particular tribe in, I think it's Zulu Natal. Yes. So it was quite intriguing because truly what we have, the basic thing that we have, because when you want to sell yourself, when you want to differentiate yourself, you differentiate with what you have, or what we have is our culture.
Correct. Correct. It's your
That
foundation.
is what we have, our culture, that we are rooted. That's what we have, and nobody can take away from us. So just to, buttress what you're saying about storytelling, please go ahead.
No, I think that's a very important aspect that you brought out, because Yvonne Chaka Chaka is one of our greatest ambassadors in Africa. Africa's embraced her so warmly, and she has been the vital link between Africa and South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So she comes with fashion, she comes with music, she comes with charisma, she comes with pizzazz. So, but she is brilliant in the promotion of tourism. And we're looking at how certain iconic women have linked Africa through various countries, through different mediums. And of course, Yvonne Chaka Chaka, through music, has really been the conduit that has created and fostered. And for you to be remembering the story of Ukomboti is excellent. It is. But storytelling is vital. And storytelling doesn't need a lot of qualifications.
No.
It doesn't need a lot of academia. Cuisine, rural events. Women in Africa are born event organizers. Every wedding, every funeral, every prayer, every get together.
Every
the
meal.
Women rise. They are the lionesses of Africa. They will have an event that can embrace thousands of people in a rural village or in a city. They don't need so much of qualifications, but they know they get together and they are able to deliver on all these things. So I think one needs to, there's a lot of lessons we can learn from all these people that are all around us. The rural people especially, that have come into the city centers and that have brought and maintained their traditions, their cultures, their historical highlights, and their history that which comes from storytelling. So those are areas that women bring to the fore, and we learned it all from our grandmothers. It's nothing new. It's just basically we need to adapt in how we're presenting it. And your story that you spoke about now is authentic, It's unique, but it happens all the time.
It does. It does. Thank you.